everyone, Melanie Muenchinger here, illustrator for Gina K Designs. Today I have a new project technique video for you with one of my favorite past flower sets. This is called Fabulous Flowers. Has several coordinating sets on my collection, but it contains miniature two-step versions of the line art images in my popular A Year of Flowers 2 set and miniature versions of the bold images in my Press Flowers 2 set. So if you like these images, then please check out the larger full-size sets for both of these. But what these do, you're able to layer these together so that you've got an outline and a pop of color. And I noticed that this is going to be perfect for using with the Wreath Builder stamp set and templates and dies that just came out from Gina K Designs this past month. So I want to show you a really cool technique using the template stamps and the MISTI tool so that we can layer these two different images, the line art and the bold, all at once, and it goes really quickly and it looks terrific in this wreath pattern. The other products that you're going to need in addition to these stamp sets and the template, you're obviously going to need the MISTI tool. This is the regular size MISTI, which the template fits into. The cardstock we're using today, I'm going to change it up a little bit. I decided that I wanted to substitute the black Onyx for this blue raspberry. This is a peach Bellini base if you like it like this, but I'm going to be using a 3 3/4 inch square of Pure Luxury white. I've got some black Onyx. This is 3 7/8 inch square just to make a nice little reveal here. And then this is a 4 1/4 inch Ocean Mist card base. The ink pads that I'm going to be using today, I've got the Gina K Jellybean and the Fresh Asparagus. I'm going to be using the Gina K Ocean Mist, and then I'm going to use the Memento Tuxedo Black for the greeting and the outline on those flowers. The adhesives, I've just got a little tape runner here and some foam squares, and we're going to be using a die cutting machine, and you just need some circle dies. So Gina's got some single stitch, some double stitch, and just some plain circle dies. So I'm using one of the double stitch ones today, but that is up to you. But it has all these fun different circle images in it for framing that greeting that's just going to pop right inside the center of this wreath. In addition to the MISTI, you might choose to also have some medium-sized acrylic blocks or small blocks for popping in some of the tinier pieces. I'm also going to be using the Gina K Tidy Towel. This is really nice to have on hand when you're using the MISTI because I do tend to get some of that ink onto the door when I'm closing and opening it, and I don't want to transfer that to my project. Make sure that you watch until the end. I'm going to show you a couple more samples that I've made with this Wreath Builder and other sets from the past. You want to make sure that you check those out. I might be using an additional ink pad today, but I'm not really sure yet. It kind of just depends. I love to see how the wreath is looking to me and how it can grow and change based on what new images or colors I put into it. So let's go ahead and begin by starting to stamp out our wreath. So I'm going to be using this little sunflower image. It's a lot of different flowers that can actually be, but I'm going to be using this one today, and I'm going to be making it in that light ocean mist color. So I'm going to start, I always like to, when I'm stamping out a wreath, to use my focal point or that largest one first. So I think flower first. So I'm just going to lay this into the template, and I'm going to close the door so I can stick that on there right where I want it. These stamps are kind of sticky, so you might choose to put the magnet down, but it's going to stay in place because of this template, and the template's in the corner. So I'm going to take my Ocean Mist ink, center this here a little bit. I really like to go right to left just because I like to ink next to me. So you might want to do it the opposite way, but there's really no right or wrong way. So I'm going to get this bold stamp inked up. And I got a little bit there on the door. Okay, so I'm going to put that in that first corner there. Okay, so I'm going to lift that off. Now what we're going to do is I want to be able to stamp both the line art and the bold at the same time. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this line art image, and I'm going to find, there's kind of a telltale petal in here. You can see that one, it curves this way and goes that way in kind of an S. So I'm going to lay this, pardon my head, just right over that image so I have the correct petal on there. And then I'm going to just press down that door, pick it up, okay? And now I've got this in the right spot, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ink it up in the black. Okay, and get this off. And if you want, you can do your next one of the blue, but I'm just gonna do this here at one time, okay? Lift that up. Okay, so you see how that layers on there perfectly. And you might choose to offset them a little bit. Some people really like that little white reveal. Okay, so now they're lined up and ready to go for the rest of the wreath. So we're gonna turn it, just 1/8 of a turn there, and we're gonna ink up the line art one with the black, and the solid one with the ocean mist, and stamp it, and it's going to go off the edge, but that's okay. And we're going to turn it again and ink up this one in the blue, this one with the black, okay, and then turn it again. I hope it's centered. This is a little bit bigger of a project than I usually work on since I'm using the large MISTI here. Okay, and now we're about to go around the corner and start having those images double up. I'm going to turn it this. Make sure that's in there right. There we go. Okay. And let me grab my tidy towel because I'm starting to get this ink on here everywhere. And if you have one that kind of stains the tool, you can use a stamp cleaner instead of just a towel. Okay, so now let's go ahead, turn it one more time, do our black, blue, make sure I got that top part. Okay, turn it again. And then the next thing that we're going to do when we complete this is we're going to do those leaves. And you can put more than one image on at a time when you're doing the wreath builder. If it fits and nests around on one side, then it's going to fit on all the sides. Okay. And then I'm going to do this last one here. So that was from the first. And then I'm going to fill this in with the ocean mist. And then we're done with our flowers. And you can take this one off if you're concerned about that getting ink on that first one. Okay? All right, so those are all filled in there. And that'd be pretty just by itself with those flowers. But let's add some leaves and really make this nice and full. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick out some bold pieces. And we're going to be inking those up with our lighter Jellybean green. And we're going to do this in the same way that we did, where we're going to put them opposite each other. And grab a leaf. All right. Make sure I have the right ones here. Okay. There's one going one way and one that going the other way. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in the solid one. Let's see, how did I do it on here? I have the solid one right here, and then I'm going to have this little one that looks like a little fern. I'm going to put that one right here. Okay, So those are going to be inked up in the Jellybean. Press that down. Okay. Yep, that one just doesn't want to stick. So grab your tidy towel. We'll just get that clean. It must be a little bit dusty. Pop that back in there. Make sure it's lined up. Okay, there we go. All right, so we're going to ink this up in the Jellybean. Stamp it. Okay, and then we're going to turn this. I'm going to go ahead and stamp this one too, just so you can see. Some of them maybe we'll leave open, and maybe we'll just do every other one on this one. Save a little bit of time, but it's going to be the same technique, and I'll show you that in a second. Turn this. I like it being more full, but I also like having a little bit more white space. Make sure that's really centered there. Okay. And then if you want to add in the little outline of that fern, you can just layer that on like that. Maybe we'll do it right here. No, I'm going to go ahead and do this. All right, so put that right there, and then the little leaf. Okay, and you could do this with black as well if you wanted. Okay, so let's do this now. So we're going to just press that. Oh, and I got a little bit off there. That's okay though. So that shows you what the offset looks like. So let me make sure I still have that out. There we go. And you can put your little magnet down on that if you want. Close the door. And one more time. Actually, two more times. Get up. And one more. So there's so many different flowers in here. We've got roses, we've got sunflowers, we have tulips, and they really look pretty with the different elements in the Wreath Builders set. So maybe I'll add just one more of those. Oh, I ended up doing it in black also since I had this one over here. So let's use that fresh asparagus that I talked about. And what I'm going to do, I think, is I'm going to use one of the pieces in that Wreath Builder on the other side. So let's do that. So I've got, I'm going to use this little piece right here. I think that would be pretty. Okay, so this one I'm going to show you in case you don't have the MISTI. You can just add in these smaller stamps where you want them. So I think I'm going to put this, I'm going to take this out of here. And just add in some of these smaller elements. Oh, that's pretty. Into the center. And then you could go outside if you wanted. All right, so let's go ahead and put this on here. I think I'm going to use the fresh asparagus since you're not going to see as much of that if I cover it up in the greeting. I'll show you really quickly what it'll look like if you just do it flat. How about that? So I'm going to take this Wishing You the Best Birthday Ever. So you see, oop, and that's, I cannot see these colors. They look so similar. That's the fresh asparagus. The pad looks so dark. Okay. All right. So this is if you want to have it without the dies. And this is if you want to add the border. And finally, this is if you want to pop it up. So then you would just put some foam squares on the back of this and add it to your card. So I'm going to use 4 of these little ones. I actually really like that, how that's showing those leaves. Okay, so just like that though. And if you want, I've got bold centers that you can add to the middle of those flowers. Just do that. And then let's attach this to our mat. And then to our card base. There we go. I love these little flowers with all of Gina's new little images, so I'm excited to play with those. So here's the 2 different cards. So again, I really love the black here, but I love this blue raspberry color. Let me show you 2 other cards that I made here with a couple of my other sets. On this one, I used the A Year of Flowers 3 Rose and the Fern, and then I mixed it in with Gina's bold little leaves and then that same little kind of baby's breath, and these are done in the grass green and the fresh asparagus. And then I just colored this with a couple of Spectrum Noir markers, and this is a greeting from my A Year of Flowers 3 set. These are realistic flowers, but they mix in really well with these whimsical bold images. And I used the wreath builder on that too, but I just stamped in 4s instead of 8s. So the scale for this set is really nice. Another project that I made, this is with my Gifts from the Sea set. So I here made a shell wreath, and this would be great for a masculine birthday card or a Father's Day card coming up, just stamped in the craft. And I just love that swirly wreath that it's making with those shell images. So I've got tons of different shells that you could use in that particular set. And this is on a craft base to coordinate with the ink. So let me know in the comments which of these color combinations you like better, or if you want to let me know which of these cards you would want me to demonstrate next with my sets and my wreath builder. Thank you for watching this today. I hope this gives you an idea of how to layer those 2-step images that you can just ink up and then stamp at one time rather than having to go through the whole process more than once when you're using line art and bold images. Please visit my blog, Hands, Head, and Heart, for more ideas and inspiration using all of our stamp sets and Gina K Designs and Stamp TV. Thank you for watching. God bless.